Hello and thanks for joining us here on France 24 for France in Focus. This special edition we're coming to you from the Salon de l'Agriculture in the heart of Paris, an expo dedicated to farming, and I'm here with my new friend from the Pyrenees. Coming up in the programme, opportunities and threats. We take a look at the state of French farming today. And moving with the times, we find out about what approaches and technology French farmers are using to stay ahead in their industry. And learning the ropes, we take you to meet some of the next generation of French farmers at an agricultural college in the east of France. Thank you for joining us for the 51st edition of the Salon de l'Agriculture here in the heart of Paris, a hugely popular event which draws hundreds of thousands of people throughout. And because of the considerable influence that French farmers wield, this event is also a must-do for politicians from across the political spectrum, who all make a point of showing their faces here.
Belle race là, oui. Vosgienne. Qu'est-ce que j'ai pas goûté là encore? Bonne chance aux jeunes.
Je ne peux pas vous les petits. Ça fait du bien.
There aren't too many signs of hardship here at the Salon de l'Agriculture, but times are decidedly hard for French farmers who face stiff competition from overseas and declining profits. So just how bad have things got? Well, thankfully, it's not all bad news.
When they feel threatened by European and governmental plans, French farmers don't hesitate to take to the streets. They say the survival of their activity is at stake, and as years go by, the situation is only getting worse. A feeling of despair that helps explain worrying figures. France has a rate of one suicide every 2 days in the farming world. The sector currently employs 600,000 people in the country. In 1970, there were 1 million more. For those who would like to embrace the profession, finding land is not an easy task.
In my area in the Bouches-du-Rhône, land is being taken over to build houses, so available land is scarce. It was hard for me to find some for my sheep. The other difficulties we face are money-related, with the lack of bank loans.
Many French farmers struggle to make both ends meet and have to sell parcels of land to make up for declining revenue and rising living costs. Small farms are the hardest hit by the general economic downturn. This man will soon stop the activity that helped feed his family for decades, as dairy companies refuse to pick up his milk at times.
When I can only supply them with 300 liters, they won't take it. So I have to throw it all away, in the hole for manure. That's it. I'm going to try to grow cereals and do the best I can until I reach retirement age.
This farmer in Brittany had the opportunity to be ambitious and increase the size of his business, but it came at a cost. He has to reimburse 120,000 euros a month. Banks agreed to give him a loan, and he's confident he's made the right choice with growing demand from international buyers.
These days there's a demand, notably from the Chinese and from Southeast Asia. Lots of people there to give food to. If they just eat one extra yogurt a day, I'll be a happy man.
The French government is fully aware of the difficulties faced by small farms. It has vowed to step in and help as large farms benefit more from European aid money. Still, farmers are anxious regarding the reform of the common agricultural policy. Their fate is decided not just in Paris, but also in Brussels.
If you want to stay ahead in agriculture, as with any industry, you have to be willing to adapt and change with the times. Well, one sector of the market that's seeing strong gains is that of organic farming. And some producers are managing to translate respect for nature into stronger profits.
For farmers, early evening usually means milking time, but not here. The cows are casually grazing away, and the farmer is at an art class.
I could be working now, but I decided to do something different. Our system is organized around one single daily milking, which takes place in the morning. We don't even do that all year round, as production is seasonal.
3 months out of the year, Owen and Laurence Leroy's herd don't produce milk. That period is kept aside, especially for birthing.
At the moment, the cows aren't really working very hard. In the end, they'll give us a calf, so that's work.
Time off then for both man and beast. It's a risky decision, as it reduces the farm's milk production. For Owen and Laurence, the motto is simple: produce little, spend less.
Allez les filles, on y va.
And their solution: for 9 months out of the year, their herd is allowed to run free and is fed only grass.
The animals themselves can go and forage, which they then distribute, which then fertilizes, all without the need for a building. So we're saving on equipment, investment and building works when they're on the pasture.
No food costs and only a solitary stable. This method of production brings in €30,000 a year. Other farmers here in Brittany say there's evidence Owen's method is 3 times more cost-effective than intensive models like this.
Their production is really small. They only sell around 3,200 litres per cow. Others produce some 9,000 per cow, but their costs are ridiculously low too.
After 10 years, Owen and Laurence have already repaid around 2/3 of their startup loan, freeing up their income and more time for their family.
Well, as well as providing a great day out, the Salon de l'Agriculture also provides people in the farming sector the chance to find out about the latest tools and techniques to help them do their job better and more efficiently. Well, technology is a great focus of this year's Salon, and here you'll find on display GPS, satellite tracking technology, robots, and drones. Yes, drones.
No, it's not a video game or a UFO, but a chance to hone your drone skills. The €26,000 price tag may seem steep, but for this farmer from southwest France, this agricultural drone could mean long-term savings.
It'll allow us to get an overview of the land more quickly. The aerial view means we can better see things, how the crop is growing, if there's any disease, if there's enough fertilizer. So it could be potentially interesting for us.
The prototype of this drone was built 4 years ago in a barn. Now it's being marketed as one of the world's first drones to be equipped with specialized agricultural sensors. Likened to a smartphone with wings, it uses GPS and infrared to analyze the farmland and the crop's color from above. And as it can give rapid overviews of large areas up to 50 kilometers squared at a time, the makers are also targeting the international market, including Africa.
There isn't as much very precise satellite coverage in these areas as there is in Western Europe. What we're offering African countries is a made-to-measure satellite coverage, and one at a scale that is tailored for them.
The innovation isn't only in the air, it's also very much on terra firma. This grape harvesting machine costs €250,000 and is stuffed with sensors and cameras. The driver controls everything via a touchscreen and a joystick. French manufacturers insist increasingly automated equipment can be a boon for farmers.
Labor productivity, increased yield, comfort, those are the things the users are looking for. If it's also economically beneficial because they use less fuel, less fertilizer, or they increase their output, well, it's beneficial for everyone.
France is Europe's leading farming nation, meaning it needs to capitalize on the growing demand for high-tech workhorses. For now, only 12% of the EU's farming vehicles are made in France.
Let's take a look now at the next generation of French farmers. Where does their passion and their savoir-faire come from? Well, for many of them, they've grown up in families, working the land and working with animals. But for others, it's been a question of studying hard. We're going to take you to an agricultural college now in the east of France.
The sun's up and the flock has arrived. Class is in session. Each week, trainees at this agriculture school spend 3 to 4 hours taking care of different animals. Today's lesson, the pedicure.
We're trimming the hooves. That is to say, we're making them flat so they don't get infected.
It's hard work grooming a breeder. Students learn about each step along the production line, following an animal from its birth to the butchers.
It's the pupils who follow and keep track of the animals. We're here to help or supervise, but they're doing it all.
To be a cut above the rest, students learn all the cuts, ribs, legs, and loins, dozens of different kinds, and how to prepare them to make them ideal for cooking.
It's important to begin with the thickest part, in order to make it more cylindrical when you're done.
Next step, making the sale. Students deal directly with customers, and though their prices aren't the cheapest, lamb here is 11 euros a kilogram, people shop here for other reasons.
I know the quality here. They are grass-fed, hay-fed. It's perfect.
Lamb, but also honey, thanks to beekeeper training. There are already 150 agriculture schools like this one selling their products across France.
Well, this is where we leave you for this week's edition of France in Focus, coming to you from the Salon d'Agriculture. And this is Bella. She's a Tarentaise cow who spends most of her year roaming the French Alps. I'm told she's gentle, curious and easygoing, but I don't think I want to get too much closer. Thanks for watching. Do stay tuned to France 24.